We the people. Hey everybody, Brian Cannon of OVWmania here again on Triple Threat Talk. Now last week the guys had to bring up the fact that Zeb Coulter called my team, the Caribbean Cardinals, at Extreme Rules. So I just wanted to say something real quick. Okay, I'm still a fan of Zeb Coulter. I'm still a fan of Jack Swagger. I'm still a fan of the whole We the People thing. And you guys can be jealous because as of filming this episode, the St. Louis Cardinals have the best record in all of baseball at 36-18. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So we're going to move on to OVW episode 719. It was filmed Wednesday, May 29th. Came out online on OVWrestling.com and Blib.tv Thursday, May 30th, and aired actually earlier today, Saturday, June 1st, on WBNA Ion 21. I'm actually filming this between it airing earlier today and the Saturday night special. I'm doing that for a couple reasons. First of all, I will talk about the Saturday night special and next week's TV on next week's episode here on Triple Threat Talk. And then I'll also give anybody time who wants to see the show, whether they buy the DVD online or at an OVW Wrestling live event, to be able to view it before I talk about it. I will go over the card at the end, however, and of course some of the stuff in the episode I'm going to talk about will lead up to that. So that's part of what we're going to do here. Of course, by the time this airs on Triple Threat Talk, you will see the results, or you can see the results anyway, on my website, ovwmania.blogspot.com. One other quick note, OVWmania is also joining Triple Threat Talk on the Fan Advocates website, ovwrestlingfanadvocate.com. I'm going to have some OVW stuff there. I can even blog about the St. Louis, not the Caribbean Cardinals, if I feel like it. Anything else sports related. Right now there's not anything up there on the page other than my logo and my Twitter link. But as soon as I figure out how everything works on that website and start getting going, you can find some OVWmania stuff there as well. So, as we move on to last week's OVW episode, we'll start off with a couple of the dark match results. Lady Tapa once again destroyed in her matchup. She beat the lovely Lila. Basically toyed with her the whole match, got the win. Rob Terry, who's been strictly in a lot of dark matches recently, beat another big man, 4M, Mr. Marvelous Melvin Maximus. He continues to dominate. As the main episode came on, Marcus Anthony was in the lead match after beating Ted McNaylor badly last week, where he had to be stretchered out. He beat his tag team partner of the Mobile Homers, Adam Revolver, this week. Backstage, we see Taylor Hendricks approached by Nikki St. John about her relationship with Heidi Lovelace, and it looks like Taylor's basically using Heidi for her own good to possibly get closer to the title herself. She actually tells Heidi, who approaches her later in the segment, that Trina's been saying bad things about her behind her back about both Heidi and Taylor to get Heidi all upset. We also see Jay Bradley all upset with Jesse Goddard about stealing his title shot. And Jesse says it wasn't being stolen. He was Mr. Opportunity, Mr. Spectacular. Jamin walks in and says it doesn't matter who he faces for the title. He can beat both of them, and that sets up a three-way match for later in the night. And then we also see Tony Gunn and Randy Royal talking in the back again. Randy Royal says he's now spent money on a Bowflex for them so that way they don't have to go to the gym all the time. They can train with the new Bowflex. Something else that I thought was interesting, which actually aired on the main show, the Assassin came out and took out Cody Castle, who was cleaning off the ropes. The Assassin's been taking out people for the better part of the last year and a half. And this was finally actually aired on OVW TV, so maybe we'll see more of the Assassin on OVW television. In a rematch from the prior SNS, Trina once again successfully defended her OVW women's title against Epiphany. As she went back through the curtain, we see backstage that Heidi approaches her, gets mad about her talking about her behind her back, and challenges her for the women's title at SNS, which Trina accepts, says, once again, she's a fighting champion, and she has no idea what Heidi's talking about, but she's willing to defend the women's title. Then we have an in-ring interview set up by Michael Titus with the team of Michael Hayes and Muhammad Ali Vaez. Michael's questioned as to why exactly he picked Ali to be his tag team partner, and he goes through a couple reasons, including Ali's a former 8-time TV champion. He kicked his butt many times, showed him how to be a pro wrestler, and also talks about how Ali stepped up last year for OVW when Josie tried to make him lose a chance at the OVW TV title, as well as trying to take power, that he stepped up and was able to save OVW last year. And then Ali talks about how his parents came to the U.S. 38 years ago with a dream for a better life. He talks about how when he was 18, he joined the Army and spent 4 years at a very prestigious academy, West Point. And then he talks about how wrong the coalition's been. And at this point, Gilly Man, Joe Coleman, and Delta Team Bravo all come out from underneath the ring and attack Hayes and Ali from behind. However, Hayes and Ali get the upper hand back and actually chase them out the side door. Next up, Paradise was challenging for the OVW television title against Randy Royal. He was going for a Bronco Buster on Royal, and Royal put his leg up. Was it an accident? Was it on purpose? But he accidentally kicked and low-blowed Paradise and then rolled him up for the win. We don't know if it was a any means necessary thing or self-defense, but Rockstar Spud seems to think that he's purposely doing it. He came out and said that once again he will be challenging Randy Royal at Saturday Night Special for the TV title. And he said, "I'm not demanding, but I'm instructing you, Tony Gunn, to stay out of my way and stay out of the match." The main event, Jesse Goddard, who became the new #1 contender, actually got a clean pinfall victory over the champion, Jamin Olivencia, beating him and Jay Bradley in a triple threat match. And then as that match was coming to a close, Hayes and Ali was dragging the coalition back out to the ring, and they were yelling for Crimson and Jason Wayne to come out. Crimson and Jason Wayne emerge from under the ring with gas masks that kind of look like this. They attack Hayes and Ali from behind, end up handcuffing them, tying them up, and beating them down with a baton and a steel chair, and getting the upper hand going into the Saturday Night Special. So we've got another SNS coming up pretty quick, mainly because last month was delayed a week by the Kentucky Derby, which is pretty big around this area. So in just a moment, I will be going over the SNS card. Alright, so for SNS, this is what you can expect for the show on June 1st, 2013. The big match we were just talking about moments ago, the Coalition's Generals, the Red Baron of Ruthless Reconnaissance, Crimson, teams up with the diabolical dictator of domestic defense, Jason Wayne, to take on the real American heroes, the team of Michael Hayes and Muhammad Ali Vaez. Jesse Goddard's Mr. Spectacular, Mr. Opportunity, challenges Jamin Olivencia for the OVW Heavyweight Championship. Randy Royal defends his television title once again against Rockstar Spud, who has warned Tony Gunn to stay out of the match and stay out of his way. And we know Trina will be defending the Women's Championship against Heidi Lovelace. Those are the 4 big confirmed matches for SNS, and plus there will be much, much more, I know. As I said, you can check the results. By the time this airs, they'll be up on OVWmania.blogspot.com. I want to thank you all for tuning in once again. And Triple Threat, guys, I know that y'all have not been to any shows recently, but hopefully y'all have been keeping up. I'd love to hear some of your comments and opinions on what's been happening lately. Until next time, this is Brian Cannon.